Hey, welcome, my friends. Welcome to Koelsch Innovation Lab, a really cool series in which we interview the founders of different startups, people who are doing research in age tech, aging innovation, people who are doing exciting things, and people who are doing things with Koelsch. Koelsch Communities does pilots all over the country every year where we really try to look at what's the best research, what's the most innovative startups that are trying to solve the hardest challenges in aging. So we're here today with Joe and Bella, and I can't wait to introduce them to you. But before we get too far in that, I want to just speak to everybody who's tuning in. And so if you're a family member tuning in, welcome. We're happy you're here. What I got to tell you is this. You definitely want to stay on the show because what you're going to learn about is how fashion and practicality can actually work together. You're going to learn about how to make life easier when you're taking care of someone with dementia or chronic illness, and you're tired of spending hours on Amazon trying to find the right thing, or wandering through Walmart and going, I have no idea what to get my mom. She needs something and I can't figure it out. So families, this is for you. If you're an operator of a senior living community, especially one at Koelsch Communities, you're really going to want to pay attention and stay on this show for a couple reasons. One, this show is going to teach you some fresh, fun ways to honor and celebrate the nurses, the resident assistants, the housekeepers who work in your community. It's also going to show you how to help your families because your families are coming to you and they need support. They need ideas, fresh tools to help their loved one. So stay on board. Also, there's a competition at the end that you're really going to want to know about. So with that, I want to introduce Jimmy and Peter Zollo. They are the founders of Joe and Bella. And I'm going to introduce for you Jennifer Pasternak, who is an executive director at Koelsch. So Jimmy Zollo and Peter Zollo, they are veterans of the market research space. A lot of their career has been spent working with understanding teens and youth and really helping different companies like clothing manufacturers, presidents who are trying to stop smoking in America, helping them figure out how to reach teens. Now, after personal experience working with their own loved one who had dementia, Winnie, Peter's mother, Jimmy's grandmother, they realized that there was a huge need in the area of family members who are caring for someone that they love who has dementia or is aging with chronic disabilities. So the two of them started Joe and Bella. I am very excited to also bring Jennifer Pasternak on board. Jennifer Pasternak is an executive director at Northbrook Inn in Northbrook near Chicago, Illinois. She's also an entrepreneur who started a business in which she helped single women be able to have a great job with flexible schedules so they could keep caring for their kids, excellent health benefits. So she's a visionary, both here at Koelsch as she leads an amazing team and she nurtures great relationships with her community. It's a wonderful thing that she does over there. So let me bring Jennifer Pasternak, Jimmy, and Peter on the screen. Happy to have each of you here today. We're so excited you're here. So let's start. Hey, Peter and Jimmy, why don't you tell us what is Joe and Bella?
Thanks, Benjamin. So Joe and Bella is a one-stop shop for anyone who directly or indirectly provides care or occasionally helps an older adult in their life. That's including family members and friends to professional caregivers. Joe and Bella has everything from apparel and footwear to innovative tech that's specifically designed for seniors to safety and mobility equipment to some really great and fun gifts, because I know from personal experience, there's only so many times I could get my grandmother a crossword puzzle before I needed help finding a new gift. So we've got lots of really great ideas up there as well.
So, okay, how is Joe and Bella different from Amazon?
So in a lot of ways, Amazon is kind of everything for everyone, and they've got about 100 different variations of everything that they have. Joe and Bella, on the other hand, is highly curated, meaning that for every item that we have, it's been carefully selected and approved. We work closely with professional caregivers, with gerontologists, with folks over at AARP, to some individuals who have exclusively researched senior safety for the better part of 2 decades. And we do this all to ensure that we have the right products at fair prices that are dignity adding, that are safe. And even for things like clothing, they're meant to look good still. But the goal is to make everything simple and easy for the person that's responsible for shopping. So unlike Amazon, we don't want hundreds of options. We simply want the right ones.
That's cool. That's really cool. Why did you two create Joe and Bella? What's your story?
Let me take this one. First of all, thank you, Benjamin, for doing all this. And hey there, Jen. It's good to see you as well, and Jimmy. So we have a lot of experience. This goes very personal. So about 9 years ago, we made the decision to move my mother and shortly thereafter my father into assisted care. My mother simply had fallen one too many times, and despite having, and we were fortunate to do so, 24/7 care at home, we really needed the care really that only a community could provide. So our worlds were turned upside down. Despite feeling as if we were well resourced, we soon found out that we wouldn't. And one of the things that we thought would probably be really simple was to understand if we had the right stuff, as well as we got rid of the stuff we didn't need, because they were moving, not unusually so, from their adult home into rooms at a community. And we quickly found that we were missing lots of stuff. We didn't have the right clothes. There were tech that could have helped us. So we were sort of scratching our heads as we were also running into stores, looking for everything from gifts and treats that would make them happy to bras for my mother that clearly wasn't in my wheelhouse. And I struck that time and time again. And we said, there has got to be an easier way. People should not be spending this much time looking for what to buy them. That should be served up to them in such a much simpler, better, easier, less expensive way. That led us to Joe and Bella.
And why did you pick the name Joe and Bella?
Yeah.
Very unique name.
Yeah, great questions. Not my parents' name. So when we were moving that Christmas night 9 years ago, my parents, my mother that day, and my dad was sort of with us then at that time, even though we were bringing him home for about 9 more days. A couple who was really cute kept poking their heads in, and they kept saying, "We've got this. We can help you. Don't worry. We can be there." As it turns out, they were two Holocaust survivors who met each other later in life. Their names were Joe and Bella. From that day on, and for the next 2 years to come, they ate every meal with my parents and quickly became part of our extended family, joining us for Thanksgiving, for Mother's Day, Father's Day. They became Jimmy's really adopted grandparents. Joe and Bella were so helpful to us at such a time of need, providing this wonderful, calm influence, always with a touch of humor, that we thought we want to give back too. And what could be a better name for our giving back than Joe and Bella?
That's really cool. Let's take a moment. So we got quite a few people who are watching right now. Hello, everyone who's watching. Hey, we've got some T-shirts. Hey, why don't you show them the T-shirt you've got there, the Joe and Bella T-shirt. All right, we want to give some of those away. So in the comments, share a photo or name of an older person who means a lot to you, right? Show a photo or name of an older person who means a lot to you. Because I think that will be really cool, because that's the whole story of Joe and Bella, is older people who meant a lot to Peter and Jimmy. So put that in the comments, because we're going to give away two T-shirts, the Joe and Bella T-shirts, to folks who put something in the comments right now.
And by the way, they not only look cool, like all the stuff on Joe and Bella, they feel comfortable. These are amazingly soft and comfortable. They're American apparel, so you're going to love them.
Hey, your camera's off there, Peter.
So
there
they go.
There we go. So, all right, let's see. We got some in the comments. Okay, we got Debbie says, "My grandma Rose." That's really cool. I'll bet she was an amazing person, Debbie. All right, let's see. Anybody else got a comment? Put it in. Who's an older person that means a lot to you? Put their picture, their name in, and you get a chance to win one of these T-shirts. So go ahead and put that in. So while we're waiting for folks to do that, Jen, I've got some questions for you.
Yeah.
You cared for you cared for Peter's mother, Jimmy's grandmother, and you introduced our Koelsch Innovation Lab to Joe and Bella. Why did you think it was so important to introduce Joe and Bella to your families there at Northbrook Inn?
So Peter and I, our relationship started probably not the way most relationships start in an assisted living community. It was a phone conversation about bras. So it was a very intimate conversation about, Jen, I don't know what to get. What do I do? And it was hooks and straps and elastic. And after the call, I'm like, man, I can't believe I just had this call with this family member that I just had met not too long ago. I wish there was, somewhere they could go. And obviously I'd always help everyone, but where they can go buy some products that have been tested, that work really well, wash really well. And that's where Peter and Jimmy came in. And I still talk about bras with families. I had a conversation about it last week. This one involved FaceTime in a Macy's, so it was a little different. But definitely tell everyone to go to Joe and Bella because everything is tested and you don't have to FaceTime me about bras.
So Jen, I understand you're now on their advisory board, and how do you help them curate what they choose to share with families?
So one of our residents ordered socks, and every time we get anything from Joe and Bella, I take it apart because I want to see what it's like, how it's going to work with our residents. And there was a pair of socks that weren't going to look like they were going to get through the wash very many times. So I texted Peter and said, hey, I don't know about these socks. So a couple hours later, Peter was in my office with tons of socks, and we're pulling and stretching and touching. Again, another intimate moment. And, that's how we talk about what ends up on the website is the durability. And lots of our residents wear clothing from Joe and Bella. So do the zippers stay intact? I count how many times certain clothes go through the wash and see what they look like after a month or 2 months and check back with them all the time.
That's really cool. Well, why don't we do this? Can Jennifer, Jimmy, Peter, can you show us some of the interesting, unique products that you've found that you believe really help families like yourself? Before you say anything, I do want to tell the audience, we're going to ask you at the end of this to put in the comments your favorite, because that'll be another opportunity to win the Joe and Bella t-shirts. So go ahead, Peter, Jimmy, and Jennifer. What do you offer?
Absolutely. So what's on the screen right here is sort of a perfect example of what adaptive apparel is. And adaptive apparel is about half the clothing that we sell on Joe and Bella, but we really, really love it. Adaptive simply means there's some type of slight alteration to the clothes to make it a little bit easier to put on and take off, whether that's for independent dressers or for folks that are need assistance. And as you see in this one, it's simply a zipper that opens the heel. These shoes are extra wide with extra grips on the bottom. And if you also sort of look at that zipper closely, the key difference between that and a regular zipper is it's about 4 times the size. So folks with arthritis or Parkinson's, it's really designed for them. And then you can go to that next slide too. And we have all sorts of adaptive clothing, from shoes to shirts like this that open up in the back. So I remember, so during COVID, we were totally locked out, obviously, of the community. So we couldn't go see my grandmother anymore, which was really, really hard. So it turned into FaceTime. And one of the times while we were FaceTiming, it was cold, so a caregiver was there to help put my grandmother into sort of a sweater. And she had limited upper arm mobility, and as her arms went up for the sweater to go over, she was in serious pain. And we never seen that before. We had never sort of witnessed how agonizing getting dressed and undressed actually was for her. And we didn't know adaptive apparel was actually an option. If we had known then what we know now, that, hey, why not just have a shirt that opens up in the back or a sweater that opens up in the back so she doesn't have to deal with that sort of agonizing pain? That it would have been really, really helpful to know. And what's showing on the screen are sort of different options too. So the one on the right, we have some that sort of snap with magnets, others that are Velcro, some have big zippers. So sort of every type of different use case and variation that you can imagine. there's out there. It's pretty incredible what's being developed for some of these clothes.
And they're pretty too, because your grandma was always dressed to the nines. Everything was shiny, very shiny, very colorful. And she, made it known when she didn't want to wear something, or if we put the wrong thing on her, if it didn't match. But so many clothes for elders just aren't pretty. They're frumpy. They look like potato sacks. This stuff is pretty and it's fitted and it's just amazing.
Yeah, and they're cool shoes for guys too, by the way. A lot of comfortable things. One of the things we know is that clothes are really an integral part of your identity. So just because you get old or just because you're unable to put on clothes with or without assistance, you should not have to give up that which makes you feel you. So it's really critical. We've really gone to great lengths to be able to make sure that clothes not only go on and off and they are comfortable, but they look really cool. For the sake of my mother, we finally got her really comfortable clothes, and she said, I'm not going to wear that. That's not me. So really critical, Jen. Great insight. Thank you for sharing that.
I will say those gym shoes, those blue ones, we have a couple of those in the community. And when we slide shoes on for folks, sometimes it's so hard because the back end kind of bends in, and then you got to pop it out when the shoe is having that. Eliminates it. It makes it so much easier to put someone's foot in a shoe now. And I'm not apologizing for popping things out, and but it's amazing.
Jimmy's got those same shoes himself. It's all about universal design, right, Benjamin?
That's right.
You got to sell them in pink, and then I'll wear them all the time.
So this is just showing a few of those other options. Ben, you can keep going, and I think we've got one slide. Yeah, these are some of the top ones, and as you can tell, it's clothing that kind of anyone would wear. It's something that you would find at the Gap. It's something you would find at Nordstrom. It's designed for someone who still wants to look and feel good, but it just makes that process a little bit easier and frankly safer too. And we're getting creative in how we do it as well, because particularly during COVID, or if you're taking care of a loved one in another state and you can't go into their closet and actually see what they have, we package things as bundles too, to sort of do like a closet refresh, just to make things a little bit easier and also a little bit less expensive as well.
And you also do toiletries and bed pads, and we have families that will, send mom the Dove soap that she loves and the Pantene shampoo. So, they don't have to worry about it, but it's nice for mom to get that package and find all these brands that she's always loved using. So it's just a great experience for us to have with our residents, unpackaging something from their families.
That's great. Yes, and you can order those toiletry bundles on a recurring basis. So put them in, tell us how frequently you want them, and they're gonna arrive, and you don't have to worry. Instead, you can spend your time that you have, with your loved ones, being together, not worrying about that other stuff. Let us take care of that for you, please.
Yeah, one of the final sort of categories, I guess, that we have on the site is safety equipment. And another area that I don't think we knew much about when it came to caring for my grandparents until they got into Northbrook Inn. And what we found is that so much of the safety equipment that is sold, particularly from the larger retailers online, it's not safe. It actually adds risk. And so we've really, really carefully curated what we're comfortable listing on the site to make sure it's a very limited SKU of the safest products to make sure your loved one has as low a risk of falling or getting injured that they can.
Yeah, especially the camera and TV screen you had in your grandma's room. We dropped that thing a ton of times, and it survived and worked and everything else. So that one was great too.
That's awesome.
It bounced. Yes.
I bounced it a few times myself. So absolutely. And whether or not it was on purpose, who knows? But it works.
Hey, in the comments, please, what was your favorite? What did you like? What kind of the things that you just saw did you think was really cool? And Peter and Jimmy are giving away 2 more t-shirts. So go ahead and put in the comments, what did you like? Or hey, what did you not see that you would love to see Joe and Bella carry? So just put that in the comments right now. So I'll be looking at that. Okay, so as we get ready to do that, so it is really cool to learn about Joe and Bella, where you guys are going. I want to bring on Lisa Poole-Johnson and Kirk Gooden. So these are two folks who work in our communities, and they are culture keepers. So Kirk Gooden is the culture keeper and executive director of Creekside Inn in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And Lisa Poole-Johnson is the culture keeper and executive director of Cedar Brook in Fresno, California. Now, what this means is executive director, you know what that means is they manage a whole team of care professionals who care for people living with dementia. As culture keepers, they've really been kind of picked out by our leadership team because they've done just such an amazing job of cultivating an incredible culture of care among the team members that work in their communities, that care for the elders. And so they actually train our executive directors across the country in how to create that same compassionate culture of dignity and respect. So we're going to bring them on. Jen, don't go away. Come back at the end. We want to have you back on. All right. So I'm going to bring on Kirk and I'm going to bring on Lisa. Hey, welcome to you both. Welcome to coming from Fresno and from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you. I wished I looked as good, Benjamin, as I did in that picture when the professional shots were taken. And things are a little rugged here at Creekside in the last couple hours or a couple days. So I've got my working on the floor clothes on. So please forgive me for that. But
good. Hey, I want to bring on real quick a couple comments that have just come in. So Alicia really liked the tennis shoes. Thank you, Alicia. Aren't those tennis shoes cool? I mean,
yeah,
it is so hard to put on shoes, right? When you're bending over and all this. Oh, Molly really liked the shoes with the zipper as well. So you've got 2 votes for those shoes, Jimmy and Peter.
3 with me.
And Debbie says, I already want a t-shirt, but I'm looking at the website, another device, and I like the woman's easy dressing half zip track suit top and the clothing protector adult apron. Yeah, right? Aren't those cool? Why did you pick that particular clothing protector, Jimmy?
It's really great. It's interesting. I think so many of the clothing protectors that are out there, again, aren't meant to look good. And this one is sort of really well designed, really comfortable to put on and off. And we actually might have a new one coming on, hopefully in the next week. A woman out of Indianapolis who sort of hand sews them. It's pretty incredible. So we like working with sort of individuals like that who are caring for a loved one and discovered something great that they can do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, hey, so I would like to ask, okay, Lisa and Kirk both have a special focus on celebrating and appreciating the team members who provide care for the seniors in their community day in and day out. How does Joe and Bella support Lisa and Kirk in doing that? This question for Jimmy and Peter.
Oh, sorry about that. So Joe and Bella gives back $1 for every $10 that's spent on the site. And that goes back directly to the care community whose resident received the order. So $1 for every $10 spent on the site. And we will work closely with the executive director at that specific care community to disperse the funds, and they can use it for staff appreciation. So just a really sort of simple, easy way that we're really excited to be able to give back that way, and specifically to Koelsch communities.
That is really cool. Thank you for doing that. So, Lisa, let me start with you. Lisa, why is celebrating your team so important to you?
At Koelsch, our common purpose is that we provide the finest living experiences anywhere. And our staff are the ones that are doing that legwork. And we want to show our appreciation for all of the work that they do. In our core values, we have fun and enjoy our work. So, as a way to show an appreciation for that hard work that happens, they come every day. They're in the trenches, trying to provide the best care and happiness for our residents. So every month we are very intentional with our communication and training. Every month we have our monthly staff meetings. So during those staff meetings, I always try to do some type of appreciation or some type of team building game. Our July staff meeting, we had the Saran Wrap ball game. And in the ball, I wrap up different prizes. It could be gift cards, little trinkets I find on sale. We even had cash in our wrap balls this month. And the staff have a lot of fun. So not only do they get to learn, but they get to come and have fun. So they get some appreciation. During COVID, times were really tough. People were struggling. Children were home. We got together with some of our local agencies as well as our residents who have a garden in the back, and we put together a free farmers market. And so they were able to get fruits and vegetables at no charge. And, every little bit helps. And again, it's not talking the talk, but walking the walk and showing our love and appreciation for what they do. And then personally for me, I'm so thankful for Koelsch, and I'm so thankful for my amazing, amazing team. Every Thanksgiving since I've been with Koelsch, I spend Thanksgiving frying turkeys for each shift for my staff. And they get a complete Thanksgiving meal when they work. And so we have a lot of fun every year. Are you frying the turkeys? Are you frying the turkeys? And absolutely. So it's just my way of giving back and giving them the joy and love that they are giving to our residents. Jimmy, what is it that makes you want to give back to our staff here at Koelsch? And we really appreciate it. So thank you.
Hey, Jimmy, would you mind if I took that one? Because this is particularly personal to me. I had the good fortune of having my mother at the Northbrook Inn, only 10 minutes from me. So I literally got to see her every day pre-COVID. And what I saw then, and when I saw virtually during COVID, were amazing individuals who went above and beyond to help my mother in every way they could. I will be forever grateful. They became a huge part of their life. I was always amazed. I said, how did you find such incredible people to come and work here? I don't know the secret, but we're so grateful you did. And when we thought of the idea of Joe and Bella, we said, oh my gosh, here's an opportunity right now to be able to give back to those incredible caregivers and other frontline workers who did so much and continue to do so much for all the residents of all the family members. So thank you so much for that. And thank you, Jen, and Lisa, and Kirk, for being leaders for these incredible people.
Thank you. And Kirk, I'd love to hear from you. Why is celebrating your team, honoring them so important to you, and any examples of how practically you do that?
Well, first of all, I have to say I love your product. I think that is an amazing thing. One of our other core values with Koelsch is that we overmanage the details. And I think that overmanaging the details certainly applies to clothing, footwear that the caregivers struggle with daily. I just got done doing resident care for the last day and a half, and I'm telling you, I struggled. And the poor residents probably struggled even more as they looked at me like, what in the world are you doing to me? Because I couldn't get shoes on right, and I couldn't get shirts on right. And as directors, we don't always get the opportunity to work with our people, with our residents on the floor. But so thank you for providing those products. It goes beyond more than you'll ever know. So thank you for that. As far as giving back to my team, I think I get out there and I work with them, and that, I just bought a bunch of, I don't have any left, but I bought here's some tie-dye masks that I got online, and you've heard of the Kind bars, the natural Kind bars. So I went around yesterday and today, and I'm giving out masks and Kind bars. So it's an hourly thing. I do something different every day, every hour of the day, and every shift of the day to the people. As well as what Lisa said, the staff meetings and stuff that we do, and we give wonderful things and do prizes and stuff and award certificates. And I think that goes above and beyond with Koelsch Communities, because I've worked for a couple other senior living companies that do not do those things, or maybe not as much as we do, I should say. So yeah, And Lisa, you need to share that saran wrap game thing with me. I need to know more about that because that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Hey, on behalf of Koelsch Communities, Jimmy and Peter, we want to say thank you for being willing to share, your profits with the team members that Kirk and Lisa are supporting, right? Because it just will make their job even more fun, right? Because they'll have more resources to be able to go and thank their team members. And so we just say thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
if we have any other operators on the call today, hey, if you need fresh ideas for appreciating your team members, Lisa and Kirk are the two people you definitely want to talk to. Lisa's in Fresno, Kirk's in Coeur d'Alene. You can reach out to them, ask them for ideas because they are a wealth of resources. So thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Kirk. You'll be off screen for a little bit, but come back on at the end. I'll bring you back on. Thank you both for being here today. Okay, our next guest is Heather Ashby. Heather Ashby is a veteran of the senior living industry. She has worked for a variety of great companies and has brought many of those companies to very successful, great success in the regions that she's managed. And she is now managing our California and Arizona region. Welcome, Heather. We're so happy to have you on today.
Thank you.
So you have managed a variety of senior living communities. You've seen the impact of having the right tools in order to provide excellent care and to create a culture in which team members are supported and empowered. You're speaking to executive directors across the country right now who are listening in. And I'm curious from your perspective, why are things like adaptive clothing so helpful to operators and worth sharing with their families?
Well, thank you, Benjamin. It's wonderful to be here. Really appreciate the product and services that Joe and Bella is offering. And the adaptive clothing will increase and help the mobility of the residents. It will help with independence and help with some of the behaviors that we get with dressing and grooming in the morning. It will improve communication between the community employees and the families with any challenges that the resident is having. It will empower families to be more involved and to feel good about the clothing and the products that they're purchasing to support and help the lives of their loved ones. And it will save the families money by not purchasing the items that mom and dad don't use. And these items really work well for memory impairment as well as physical impairment at the communities.
Gotcha. Yes. Okay. So you're saying that these adaptive clothing both help the team members provide better care and provide the families by giving them the peace of mind that mom looks great, she feels great, and she is not too stressed out during the dressing and undressing process. Absolutely.
It really is going to be a game changer for everybody.
So as a skilled operator, you work in the nuts and bolts of how these huge campuses sometimes work. What are some questions you have for Jimmy and Peter on how this will really work in the real world?
So I'm definitely curious of how do the families order the product and how does it get shipped to the correct community?
That is a great question. So first, on the screen there right now is the Joe and Bella checkout page. So anyone who ever wants to place an order, you can go to joeandbella.com. And actually, hopefully by Monday at the latest, the site's getting a bit of a facelift. So it's going to look even better than it does right now. But when you find what you're looking for and you go to checkout, it's a standard checkout page. And what those arrows are highlighting are two things. The first is for the shipping address. We actually specifically ask for the community that the resident is in, so as well as their unit number if there is one for that specific resident. The second thing is on the right hand side of the screen above where sort of the order totals on up, there's an opportunity to insert a discount code. So that code for all of you on here is Koelsch, so Koelsch. You put that in at checkout. That gives a discount to all the family members, but that also gives that $1 for every $10 spent on back to the Koelsch community that placed the order. As long as one of those two things happens, we'll be able to track all those orders back on at Koelsch, and we'll be able to donate all that money on back.
Wonderful. And if a family needs to return an item, how does your return policy work?
No returns. So if there's ever an item that needs to be returned, and particularly for footwear is always a little bit tricky online, knowing, hey, is this one of the shoes that you needed to go one size up or two sizes up, particularly if a resident has swollen feet. Returns are really easy. All you have to do is chat in on the site, call in on the site, email us at hello@joeandbella.com, and we'll be able to get a shipping label on back to you to send that return on back or exchange on back. But really, really easy, and there's no charge on those returns.
Well, thank you. If a community, you mentioned the rewards program, how is the community going to be notified of how much money is in that fund for their employee appreciation?
Yeah, that's a great question. So what we're doing for Koelsch is we will have sort of a Google spreadsheet tracker that will always be live for Koelsch communities. We'll probably go in there and update it about once a week so that everyone can see exactly how much those communities have earned over a period of time. And as soon as an executive director is ready, they just need to send us an email or give us a call, and we'll send the funds on over for them to be able to use for their staff. So super quick and super easy. We'll also be giving sort of bi-weekly updates as well, particularly when it comes to the competition, which we'll talk about in a moment.
Great. I was just going to ask, can you tell us about the competition that you're offering all the different communities?
Absolutely. So this is going to be really fun. We're excited about this. So we put together really simple rules for this competition, but some really awesome rewards. So here's what's going to happen. Each community is facing off against each other. Each community gets 1 point for every purchase that a family member makes on Joe and Bella. That's it. So 1 point per order. And the communities with the most points win. So really straightforward, but we've got some great prizes. So for first place, whichever community after 60 days has the most points will get a special performance for the resident staff and family members. And this is one that we're especially excited about coming out of COVID, coming out of lockdown, where maybe your residents and your staff hadn't had that special performer that maybe used to be a regular, but they haven't been able to come back for a while. This is a great opportunity to get that person or those people back into your community and do something especially nice for everyone there. Second place, there are actually going to be 2 second place winners, and that will be Joe and Bella will help provide and coordinate a special lunch for your staff. In third place, there are going to be 3 third place winners, and that's going to be a special breakfast for your staff. So really, really excited about this, and we'll keep everyone updated on the standings, and hopefully there will be a little bit of trash talk back and forth between the different communities.
Friendly competition.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Do you have any other questions for them, Heather? And if not, can you tell us how this will roll out across the country?
Well, it will start with every community will receive colorful, bright cards, and they can mail these to families, residents, POAs. They can also put them in their new admit packet so everybody is aware of it. They can use them in the outreach because it really sets us apart, shows that we're different and better. And then after they mail those cards or during that, they'll also receive an email from Joe and Bella, and they can send this out in their email blast to, again, share with the families, POAs, and residents, announcing the new services that will be available to them. Every couple of months, then they will receive an additional email with updated new innovative products so they can send that out as well. So we can support Joe and Bella with our residents, with our families, and everybody can really know what the program is and what the new innovative products are.
This is great. I'm super excited about this. Let me bring back on Lisa and Kirk and Jen to see if there's any more questions. And while you're thinking, if you've got any more questions, I do want to show a few comments that's come on screen. So you got Lisa and Kirk. Debbie says, thank you for all you do for your team members and residents. You are great leaders. Alicia thanks Lisa for the invite. And Jimmy and Peter, you definitely want to know this. So Alicia runs a 6-bed community in the Fresno area, and she wants to know more about being able to offer this to her family. So I gave her your email address, Jimmy. So be looking for an email from Alicia. And so, hey, we have another opportunity to win T-shirts. And I haven't seen any Koelsch employees yet comment, and I know you're watching. So, hey, what's one thing? This is for anybody. I want to see some Koelsch employees comment here because you can win the T-shirts too. We got 3 more T-shirts to give away. What's one thing that inspires you from this new startup? And maybe while people are answering that question, Peter, Jimmy, can you give everybody like 5 years from now, what's Joe and Bella going to look like? What's your long-term vision for this brand new startup that's super exciting?
Yeah, absolutely. So first is we're constantly looking for great new products that can be meaningfully impact folks' lives and make things easier and better for your residents and for caregivers. So short term, if there's anything out there that we're missing or that you love or you just heard about, definitely let us know, because we want to make sure that we've got you covered for the right products. Longer term, I can tell you that we are in the very, very early stages of designing our own clothing brand, which is really, really exciting. So we've learned a lot about adaptive wear over the past year or so, and we're partnering with a team of designers who were sort of initial employees over at Lululemon. They've gone on since to design really amazing innovations, both for maternity wear and for a company called Figs that sort of reinvented doctor and nursing scrubs. So be on the lookout for that in several months down the road. But overall, 5 years from now, we simply hope to have helped in a whatever little way we can. So whether that's with great communities like Koelsch for folks aging at home. So that's our goal.
Awesome. Lisa, Kirk, Heather, Jen, any final thoughts, questions for Peter and Jimmy?
I just want to thank you so much. Koelsch is so amazing, and it's great that we're able to partner with amazing people like you, just to help people in general, whether, everyone will benefit. Our residents, our staff, and their families will be a lot happier. So just thank you for all that you do. And I'm getting a pair of those tennis shoes for myself. So I'm excited about it. I'll be rocking them around the building.
Lisa, for that comment, you're also getting a T-shirt.
I follow what Lisa said, and I really appreciate the innovation offering to the residents to make their lives a little bit better, as well as the employees that are the ones caring for them, and people, loved ones that are caring for the employees or the residents or people that have impairments. So I'm lots of gratitude, appreciation.
Here's a comment from Molly. She says, the ease for families to care for their loved ones inspires her. The care that went into these designs is amazing, and we can't wait to be able to use any of them. Thank you, Molly. Really appreciate that.
So this is more for Peter, but thank you so much for letting us take care of Lois. Lois taught us so many things. She was just so kind and so sweet. So she just kept us on our toes. I remember the sing-alongs. Her and Winnie would start in the dining room. I don't even know the real version of the song, but it's something, Do Your Arms Hang Low? What is that song?
Ears.
Ears. It was a body part, but they used a different body part in the song. And they had the entire dining room singing that during lunch. And it was incredible. Even once during a tour, and it was different. But your mom was just so amazing and such a gift to us. So thank you.
And I just want to say, and I know this is perhaps not the most upbeat way to end this, that my mom did have, and it's really important to have, a really meaningful end of life. And she had it at Northbrook Inn during COVID, and I was there. And as my mom left the place, there was a line of Northbrook Inn caregivers walking on either side of her, escorting her out. And I will never forget that as long as I live, Jen.
Wow.
You are an amazing leader, and you have amazing people who work there. This is just our pleasure, our gratitude. Thank you all. What an amazing, amazing place. All of those family members, you've chosen the best.
Wow. Thank you. I've got 2 more comments that just came in. Stacy from Colorado Springs. She's one of our executive directors. She just texted me. She says, "Oh my gosh, watch the whole thing. I'm a physical therapist, now an executive director. I love what I'm seeing here." And then we have Audra Jones, who is our master trainer for the company. I'm sorry I can't see you there, Jen. I apologize. Covered you up.
It's okay. I just got my hair dyed. This is the best time.
This is awesome. The personal experience which led to sharing their experience with those in the journey, making it special for those residents to feel comfortable in things that they wear and use. Awesome. So Stacy and Audra, t-shirts are coming your way. All right. Anyone else before we go today? Hey, thank you each for being a part of this event. Really appreciate you being a part. And hey, if you've got questions, if you're viewing and you've got questions, please, if you're part of our team, just email me, Benjamin Surmi. If you're not part of our team, you got more things you're interested in, go ahead and go into the comments and put your questions in. We'll be monitoring them. So thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Benjamin.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.